Alright, this is just going to be a quick little thing, but I mean, the Walking Dead, the chapter 2, episode 5, like it really, I don't know if why people, like quite a lot of people, side with Kenny in the final act because I mean, it's just how do I explain this? It's like it's like yes, Jane literally lies about the baby like dying, but then the problem is that then Kenny, because he doesn't trust her, then accuses her of killing the baby, acting like she would actually kill the kid. And so this is the problem where, like, obviously I went full savage mode throughout this entire thing. So I'm pretty sure I ended up watching Kenny bash Carver's skull in, and then when he was beating up Arvo, I basically was just letting him do it. And then at the very end, when he's trying to kill Jane, I straight shoot him because I'm sorry, but when you think about it, in like in retrospect, he is subsequently trying to stab a pregnant woman. Like, yeah, I know she's not actually pregnant at that exact moment, but I mean, she's she ends up being pregnant by that start of what's it, series 3 or series 4. And I mean, I don't know, it's just with me, like, especially with how I've watched Stax Montana play this, it's like he's watched him bash Carver's skull in and then said to him to leave Arvo alone. And this is the part where us I don't know, I get this very unnerving feeling about Kenny. Like he went from this family loving, family orientated guy, and then boom, season 2 comes round and he has another wife, and then obviously he bashed Carver's skull in and she dies. But the thing is for me is the fact that Stax Montana like literally watched him bash Carver's skull in, and but then if you then do that and then try and get him to stop attacking Arvo, he literally says to, bear this in mind, Clem's 11 years old at this point, I think. He literally says to her, "What, you lost the taste for this type of thing?" Like, what type of fucking, like, dangerous psychopathic cunt are you to say to an 11-year-old, "Oh, what, you've lost the taste for this, have you?" Whilst you're beating up a fucking kid. Like, what? And then this is the part where I really just went off Kenny. Like I just went off him completely because, well, yes, Jane in the end she does lie and get you to try and kill Kenny, and that's why in my second playthrough I still killed Kenny, but I end up leaving Jane as well, simply because of her lies that led me to kill Kenny. But either way, she exposed him, as far as I see, is that she exposed him for what he is. And then, obviously, I leave her for then being such a lying, backstabbing bitch. But it's just, the final part is where Clem tries to break up just before the fight starts. She tries, like, depending on what you do, she tries to say to Kenny, like, Kenny, calm down, don't do anything stupid. And then he, it's not even like he had to walk past, like, Clementine or anything, but he, like, for no fucking reason, and just basically shoulder checks her. Well, not shoulder checks because she's not tall enough, but like just goes like this. He just goes, "Get out my way." Like, look at how you're treating the person that you apparently is family, just because they're trying to stop you from killing someone who you've decided to kill. Like, I'm sorry, but at that essence, he's like the same as Carver because I mean, you bash Carver's skull in for literally beating the everlasting fuck out of Kenny. But then it's like, then Kenny is treating the only family he's got left as the enemy. And that type of mentality is very much a danger to have, especially in a zombie apocalypse. Because I'm sorry, but what the fuck do you mean to an 11-year-old girl? Oh, you've lost your taste for this sort of thing, have you? And then the very next time he loses a call, turns around and literally damn near shoulder checks the 11-year-old girl out of the way, telling her to get out of his way just because she's telling him not to do anything stupid and to calm down. And it's like, you got to sit there and think, like, if that's how he's then treating the people that he cares about and is supposedly family to him, then how long is it before Clementine does something that really grates on his nerves and he just flips and, you know what I mean? Because he's such a like bigger guy, like she's a small girl, like how quickly he could switch and then just attack her. Like, you know what I mean? And that's why ultimately I did shoot Kenny, because it's like, yeah, cool, like she's lied and all stuff like that and yada yada yada, but then it's like she's never once attacked um what's her fucking Clem. He's like, she's never attacked Clementine. She's never like been really cold towards Clementine, being like, put this in mind, like when you watch Carver's skull get caved in and then you go back with Jane to the Carver's camp, she literally even says to you, like, I don't know how you could watch that. You know what I mean? So she's like straight up like saying, I don't know how you could watch that. And she's like, this is the thing though, is like, for all she does and how manipulative she is, she never really once attacks Clementine or becomes cold to Clementine, even though her whole character is supposed to be this cold, badass, like zombie apocalypse warrior type thing. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, even though she's like a proper, like, bad bitch, it's like, and she's supposed to be cold to everyone, she's still always warm to Clementine no matter what. Like, literally no matter what. But then Kenny, if you don't side with him, is literally like, he starts treating you indefinitely, and it's like, it's such a very much concerning way to treat an 11-year-old girl, zombie apocalypse or not. Like maybe it's just like, I don't know, maybe it's like fucking PTSD or something, but for me, the reason why I chose to shoot Kenny wasn't because of the fact that he was going to kill Jane. The reason why I shot him was because I could no longer trust him to not just snap on me because I've done something wrong. Because, well, I mean, Carver had it coming, but then Arvo, like, mate, you're not proving anything by beating the absolute fuck out of a, like, what was he, like 16, 17 year old boy? Like, you're not doing anything by doing that. You know what I mean? He's like literally crippled already. So technically you're just beating up a crippled person, like, big man, like, you know what I mean? It's not something to write home about. And then you then start coming for Clementine, so to speak, and then even nudge her out the way just so you could go and do what you wanted to do, which was kill Jane. And it's like, no, like, because what if what if I end up doing something that you ultimately lose trust in me, so then you then want to kill me? You see what I mean? Like, people don't think about it like that because, as I said, maybe it's just some PTSD, and it's like the moment I see a fully grown man make some type of physical connection to a fucking female girl, female girl, you spastic, a like a baby girl, basically, like a fucking 11-year-old girl. It's like, to me, that shit just rubs me completely the wrong way. Like, the type of person that he'll just switch on anyone because, well, he can. Like, I'm pretty sure even if, like, you say to him, like, oh, well, you didn't have to kill her, and he's like, I know, Clem, but I did. And it's like, you literally just was angry and punted me out the way just to get to Jane, and then you want to sit there and talk about, oh, well, you didn't have to kill her, and then he turns around and says, I know, darling, but I did. It's like, it's that very much, like, very, very much uncomfortable. I don't know if this is the word, uncomfortability with Kenny, like, round a certain point. Like, when I started feeling uncomfortable around him for Clementine's sake, that's when I was starting to look at him like, what the fuck are you on? You know what I mean? But then Jane, I mean, for fuck's sake, she. I'm not going to be that person, but I'm going to be that person. Jane in season 2 taught Clementine more shit than Kenny ever does. Like, in the whole of season 2, like, Jane actually helps Clementine and gives her good advice and stuff like that. Like, the thing with her jacket basically says that, yeah, that looks warm, but a walker will chew right through that. Yeah, my sister had like a nice leather jacket that you could have had, but obviously she's not here anymore. Oh, then this nail file as well, that you just quickly make a fire if you need to with this. Like, yeah, take it. Oh yeah, like, I see your hatchet gets stuck pretty easily. Like, that's going to get you killed one of these days. So here, try this pick. Try this ice pick, and then also then the infamous. Oh yeah, try this. Add this one to your arsenal. The quick little kick of the leg on the walker to then make them drop, so you can easily stab them in the head with no fucking issues. She does all of that in season 2. Bearing in mind, she doesn't really start warming up to Clem until about, I think it's episode 3, maybe? Wait. Yeah, it's about, I don't know. Like, I don't want to say that her congratulating her on getting the fucking radios is her warming up to her. I don't really buy that. But what I would say is where she starts warming up to her is during the herd at Carver's camp, because you bump into her, and I think that at that point she then realizes like, oh yeah, this girl's made of sterner stuff. Like, let's make sure that she actually survives, because if you stay with Rebecca, she ends up making a cow catcher, which is basically what Michonne uses in the actual TV series The Walking Dead. So you know what I mean. Then for some odd reason she never used that again and never taught Clementine how to do it. So that's a bit weird. But yeah, aside from that, other than that, you literally don't get fuck all from Kenny except a little bit of nostalgia in, like, what was it, episode 2 or something along them lines. So yeah, it's like all you get from Kenny is a bit of nostalgia, and what does he actually give you? Not the player, but the character. Like, what does he actually give Clementine? Oh wait, exactly. He gives her fuck all, because most of the time he's either yelling at her because of some other people have pissed him off, or he's yelling at her because she either A, didn't save Sarita, or B, tried saving Sarita but she ended up dying anyways. So then for the whole, like, this is the problem, yeah? This is the problem, because episode, what was it, 2? Basically, when Kenny and all them get the radios and all stuff like that. Yeah, he's all well and good, yada yada yada. And then he gets his skull smashed in, and then, like, even then, he's still alright. But then he then smashes Carver's face in. Again, still not giving anything to Clementine, might I add. Um, and then after that, Sarita gets killed, and you can either not do anything, such as kill the walker or whatever the fuck, and then he'll spend like the next like 2 episodes or something just hating your guts, and then you've also got where you try and help Sarita, but she dies anyway, and then he blames you for her death anyways as well. So yeah, and then it gets to episode, I think it's 4 or yeah, episode 4. He's still not giving her anything, like no type of fucking like things to help her survive, just in case anything happens to him, which, spoilers, it does if you actually continue off with Kenny, because in season 4, where you play as Clementine one more time, yeah, newsflash, if you go off with Kenny, he dies in a car crash. And when I mean dies in a car crash, I mean he, funny enough, I think this is a bit of karma, is that he gets flung from the car and he can't feel his legs after. And then he starts getting eaten alive by walkers. And I find that quite interesting case of storytelling there. Some people got pissed off with it because, oh my god, they killed off Kenny. But then it's like, yeah, but anyone else find it quite funny that he died a cripple, and who was the last person who was a cripple who he used to eviscerate every single time he got the chance to, both verbally and physically? Arvo. And look what happened. He then dies in a car accident, not from the car crash, but because he ends up losing the feeling in his legs, so then he can't walk anymore. And what did Arvo have? That little thing on one of his legs because he couldn't walk properly. That's pretty good attention to the story. But then also, if you go off with Jane, yeah, you get a nice little tattoo in season 4, but she ends up hanging herself because she finds out that she's pregnant with Luke's kid. So, spoilers. And then if you end up going to Wellington, that shit gets overran and you never get to hear about why or whatever the fuck happened. So, yeah, there's all that shit. So, yeah, that's fun. But, yeah, as far as like the whole of season two goes, Kenny gives Clementine literally nothing. But as what I just said, like, Jane literally gives like her advice about leather, like the jacket, like gives her advice about the thing on how to create a fire. She gives her ice pick to stop her hatchet getting stuck and causing her to get killed, and then also gives her the fucking thing of like kicking the zombie in the back of the leg so she can easily bring him down to her level and then stab him in the head. Like, does all of that shit, but then the one bad thing that she actually does do is like basically try and get you to kill Kenny, and that's literally it. And that's just because she wants you for herself. Because as far as she goes, she thinks that like she thinks of Clementine as the little sister that could have been type thing. So she kind of just wants you to herself type thing on some weird possessive type bullshit. But yeah, it's like who would I rather? A loose cannon who can go off at any fucking time, and regardless of whether I'm in front of him or someone else is in front of him, there's a possibility that he could kill us both because clearly he finds it completely okay. Yeah, I think that's where it is. I think that's what really ticked it off for me is the fact that he already started thinking that it's okay to beat up a 16-year-old. So he thought it was okay to beat up a 16-year-old boy, like literally damn near killing him, and then thinks it's okay to like basically hit an 11-year-old girl out the way so you could then go and kill subsequently what was or is a pregnant woman. I know how them type of motherfuckers end up. Because you start off big. You start off with something big. You're like, oh my god, fucking what? And then these people will sit there and they'll gradually get lower and lower and lower and lower in the things that they won't actually do. And that's literally what it was. He like he was comfortable in hitting his subsequently his 11-year-old daughter out the way just so he could go and kill someone. And it's like once you are able to uh, cope it. Once you're able to sleep at night with the fact that you felt it was okay to basically slap your fucking daughter out the way, how long is it before you start thinking that it's okay to punch your daughter because she fucked up? Or how long before you end up killing your daughter because you think it's all right? You know what I mean? Like that's where it really comes from, I think. Because as I said, like Jane gives her literally everything that she needs to survive. Kenny does absolutely fucking nothing except constantly trying to put the emotional burden of uh, his own not irresponsibilities, but his own shortcomings. He constantly tries and put the emotional burden of his own shortcomings on Clementine because he's not mature enough to actually fucking cope with it, which is fucking insane when you think about it. Like, Jesus Christ, 30, 40-year-old man can't take fucking emotional responsibility of what's actually happened, so he has to dump it on his subsequently 11-year-old daughter. Like, what an arsehole. Like, yeah, I mean, looking at it like that, like, why the fuck would you keep Kenny alive? Like, I still love the fact that even after he's killed Jane, you can, if you really want to, instead of saying, why did you kill her, or like, yada, 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 why did this happen? There is an option at the very top, I think it's A on Xbox, where it literally says shoot Kenny. Like, if that ain't the game trying to tell you something, I don't know what is. But yeah, it's just, to me, that's just beyond fucked. You know what I mean? Like, it is just those types of people. I've heard about them far too much. Like, from like all them murder mysteries on shit, like on TV and stuff. Like, it's just like, because it's one thing like saying, like, being pissed off at someone, and then someone who you're not pissed off at gets in the way, and you say, "Get out of the way, darling," or just something like nice. You know what I mean? But to then physically like your daughter out the way, that's a fucking red flag straight off rip. And then blaming your daughter for your lack of ability to save people is, again, blaming your own daughter for your own shortcomings. Like, what the fuck? And then on top of that, don't actually give her a single thing to, like, let her survive. Like, I mean, for fuck's sake, like, Lee gave her the tools to survive, and then in season 2, Jane gave her all the tools to survive. So when you think about it, Kenny is actually the single most useless person in the entirety of the fucking Walking Dead Telltale series. Because in season 1, he's just basically a complete arsehole, or he's Lee's best friend. But does he ever teach Clementine anything? No. And you could possibly say, oh, well, that's because, well, he left it down to Lee because, well, he's from Florida, so he didn't want to have a black daughter or something. Or you could go with a lot more logical of a standpoint and say that the reason why he didn't teach her anything was because A, he wasn't, like, able to, like, he didn't have enough, like, brain capacity, like, he didn't have any knowledge to pass down to her, or B, he thought it's probably better that I just let Lee do it because, well, I mean, he seems like he knows what he's doing, and I've already got my own, like, kids to like take care of. So you've got that in season 1, and then in season 2, he doesn't give Clementine anything except emotional trauma. Like, just literally all he does. Like, literally fuck all. And then season 3, he's not in that. And then season 4, you find out that if you went off with him, like, then he dies in a car crash. So, yeah. Like, he literally is the most useless of people. Like, I would argue that he's actually more useless than Harvey. Like, because Harvey, like, he basically says to, like, my one, he says to Clementine at the very end, like, hey, yo, like, you've always got this place to come back to if you really want. So he's offering her a home, as where Kenny, the only person from the last time she had a place she could call home, ends up giving her absolutely nothing other than emotional trauma, and then some random fucking baseball player from nowhere, don't even know her, is able to give her more than what Kenny was able to give to her in the whole of season 2. In one sentence. You see what I mean? Like, Kenny is just, like, he's overrated, and, like, it's literally as clear cut as that. He's overrated. He falls off towards the end, which wasn't exactly hard. But yeah, overrated. He falls off towards the end of the story and ends up being completely fucking useless. And as Jane says, he's a fucking loose cannon. And it was when that loose cannon then thought that it was okay to then hit his 11-year-old fucking daughter, that's when I drew the line. I was like, nah, he's fucking going, because I know what this shit comes from. Like, I know that once he's hit her once, like pushing her out the way, he'll then think it's okay to then push her out the way, and then after that it'll be, he thinks that it's okay to slap her, and then once he thinks that's okay, then he'll end up punching her, and then once he thinks he's okay with punching her, then he'll end up beating the fuck out of her and possibly killing her. Like, you know what I mean? That's how those types of shits go. So I was like, nah, not going for it. You're dying because you, sir, ain't worth it. And more to the fact is that he actually says, if you do actually shoot him, do you know what he actually says to Clementine? He says, thank you. So, yeah. And then, don't even get me started with Jane. But yeah, anyway, I'm going.